In this video, we're going to take a look at how to create schedules. Here we have an electrical model with various electrical components and some conduit and cable tray. To create a schedule, switch to the View ribbon, and then in the Create panel, expand the Schedules button. Here you can see several options for creating schedules. If you want to create a schedule for building components, then you would use the Schedule Quantities tool. Sometimes people think that they want a material takeoff, so they'll use the Material Takeoff tool, but what this does is it is actually based on the material parameters for the various components. So that if you simply just want a schedule of the elements that you have in the project, don't use the Material Takeoff tool here. A couple more notes here. Sheet List will create a schedule of the sheets in your project, and View List will create a schedule of the views in your project. And then just to touch on these last ones, there's a graphical column schedule if you are working on a structural project. And then there's also a note block option, which is very handy for specific workflows, and it is based on the symbols, the generic annotations that you have in your project. But for this example, we'll focus on the Schedule Quantities tool. And when you click Schedule Quantities, it opens the New Schedule dialog. And what you do here is you simply select a category of elements that you want to create a schedule for. And as you scroll through the list, you can see that there are several categories, most of those being model categories. For this example, I will select lighting fixtures, and when I do, you can see that the name of the schedule updates based on the category that I selected. But you can simply enter a new name there and customize that as you wish. Continuing on, you can select Schedule Building Components or Schedule Keys. Most of the time, you are going to want to select Schedule Building Components, and that will actually take the elements that you have in the model and schedule them. Schedule Keys is primarily used with room or space schedules, and if you want to predefine certain values based off of another value. So we'll stick with Schedule Building Components, and then lastly, you can select a phase if you are working on a project that is utilizing phasing. But once again, we're not, so we'll keep it simple and select New Construction, and then click OK to continue on. Now the Schedule Properties dialog opens, and this is where you can select your scheduled fields or the parameters that are going to be included in the schedule. A couple notes here. As I scroll through the list, you can see various parameters, and in this example, a lot of these are the out-of-the-box parameters. You can always create your own custom parameters, and if you create project parameters, you can schedule those, as well as shared parameters. Anything that you create with a shared parameter, you can schedule as well. Be aware that you can select family and type, or family and then type. Let me scroll down here. So you can combine those into one field using family and type, or you can separate them out. For example, I'll select family, and then I'll scroll down and select type. And when you select a field, you can then click Add Parameters to add it to the list of scheduled fields. If you select one by accident, you can always select it over here in the list of scheduled fields, and then click Remove Parameters. Additionally, you can double-click a parameter in the Available Fields list, and it will be added to the list of scheduled fields. I'll add just a few more here. Let me scroll up here and find a few more. And okay, that's good for now. So at this point, I have a handful of parameters in my scheduled fields list. And once you have the parameters you want, you can always use the move parameter down or move parameter up, because the order that they appear in this list will determine the order of the columns in the schedule. So you can always move those up or down as needed. And then for now, we'll just stick with that. There's a few more tools here. If you want to create a new parameter on the fly, you can do that. You can add a calculated parameter, and you can also combine parameters into a single field. We won't touch on those for now. I'm simply going to click OK, and we will create the schedule. After you create the schedule, you can click and drag on these column separators to expand or make it smaller, a column. But anyways, as you can see, we now have a schedule of all the lighting fixtures in the model. And there's a lot of them here. And you can see the family, the type mark, the wattage, and the illuminance for all of those. And now we have a schedule. All right, let's create one more real quick. You can also scroll down in your project browser to the Schedules Quantities branch and right-click Schedules Quantities and select New Schedule Quantities, or any of the other schedule tools that you may want to use. Next, I'm going to create a schedule for conduits. So I will select conduits, and then I will click OK. And this time I will add family and type, and then let's add length, and we'll do size. And let me see, what else do we want to add here? I'm going to go ahead and add diameter trade size as well, so we can take a look at that. Okay, now let me move over here to the list of scheduled fields, and I'm going to select length and move that to the bottom, and then I will click OK. And now let's take a look at what we have here. So now we have a schedule of all the conduit components in our project. That's a basic overview of how to create a schedule. Howdy! Thanks for watching. If you'd like more free content from Click to BIM, please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We also have affordable subscription options at click2bim.com, where you can access all of our videos. We also have an amazing search feature that allows you to search through every single word in all of our videos to help you quickly find the answers to your questions.